I'm choosing a different spread, and I'll explain as I go along. Basically, you have five main cards, and then the bottom portion are clarification cards for each of the cards on top. The one thing that really draws me in here is I feel like this is a big week for you when it comes to making major discussions, having major discussions, and making major decisions as a result of these outcomes in these discussions. It's a very other-oriented type of a week. You're getting a lot of communication from other people. You're also getting a lot of like snippets and tidbits of information that are very crucial in your decision-making process. And so you're weighing out the pros and cons, and you're weighing things out in a very logical, concrete way. And at the same time, trying not to, put in your personal, I guess, your personal bias or your personal emotions or your personal feelings into these decision-making process, okay? So the card that really stood out for me here is the Two of Coins. This is once again weighing out the pros and cons in the situation. And I feel for some of you, you're heavily thinking about long-term career success. And this is sort of like, do I continue at my job where I am right now? Do I want to go back to school? Do I want to, do something else to like go back to a vocational school to earn a certificate, to earn a degree, go back to school to get a master's degree, go back to school to get a PhD, do something where you are thinking more about long-term career growth and your long-term prospects. And it's linked up here with the Empress. This is all about expansion in all areas of our lives, okay? Expanding our surrounding, being able to chart newer territory for ourselves, venturing into something that we've never dabbled in before. So I feel like it's a very transformative week where you are heavily thinking about your own capabilities, taking care of yourself, taking care of other people, taking care of, your environment and the things and the people that matter to you. I feel like there is as well a person in your environment, and this person might be pregnant. They might be dealing with their own stress and strife. And at the same time, I do feel like there is this emotional up and down associated with this person. One day they want to do this, the next day they want to do that. So it's like you're accommodating them. And I also feel like, they have a general idea of what they want to accomplish long term, but they don't really have the concrete steps yet as to how to get there. So I feel almost like they're emulating you. They're following in your footsteps. And they're looking at what you have done, all the things that you have stacked up on your resumes. And they're also looking at your routine, the way you handle responsibilities, the way you handle, just like everything in your life. They might be in a position to give you advice for improving your routine, improving your methodologies, but at the same time, they really look up to you and they really admire your processes, the ways in which you take care of responsibility. So I feel like you're making decisions to really think about, long term. Is it safe for me to stay here, or do I need to chart new territory? At the center of the spread, we have here the Death card. And the Death card is always about transformation and major changes that are coming into our lives. And I feel like for some of you, this is a big emotional reassessment of a significant relationship, okay? First of all, you have somebody in your life that is really, they're keen on showering you with a lot of gifts, a lot of love, and a lot of affection. They seem to me like a very genuine type of a person that is in your midst. I feel for many of you, you have had a lot of communication back and forth with this person. And I feel like for some of you, you have been holding yourself back a lot emotionally. You have, kind of held back, not because you don't trust this person. You know that they're very genuine. But I do feel there is a lot of fear from your end about letting this person into your life. You might have, recently come to the conclusion, oh, I think the person's only interested in me as a friend. I feel some of you might want more from that person than friendship. And if they're approaching you as a friend, then, you're going to close yourself off a little bit because you are very attracted to them. And you feel like if they can't reciprocate my feelings, then I'm better off leaving this person, out of my life altogether. So it's like you're not really sure how to manage the attraction that you feel towards them. And you're not really sure how to manage the relationship when you want more and they might just want friendship. You have it in your mind that they want only friendship from you, but I feel like there's possibility for a lot more. But they're kind of testing the waters with you and they're trying to gauge how you feel about them as well. So this is a good week, if that sounds familiar, to try to open up and to try to allow yourself to express your emotions a little bit to this person. Next up, we have here the Ten of Wands, and this is a card about catching up on work, catching up on household responsibilities, catching up in all areas of our lives, okay? I feel for some of you, you might have come out of a slumber. This is like rest and restoration. This is recovering from an illness, and as a result of it, work is mounting, responsibility is mounting, so you're kind of like waking up from the slumber with the Four of Swords, and then having to kind of face the world, having to face all the responsibilities that are kind of piling up while you were, recuperating. And the Ten of Wands, what I feel here is there is somebody that's going to be coming in to be able to assist you. Okay, if you need assistance, there is another person that's available to you. I have here an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And I feel like they're leading the way. They're very like, their energy is very much, I'll do whatever is required of me. I don't really mind. Okay. So they don't mind getting their hands dirty. They don't mind the whatever work is thrown at them. I feel like they're leading the charge and they can be of great assistance to you. And then I also feel this might be the other person as well that you like or that you have strong feelings for. And as a result of it, you feel a little bit alone with your emotions. But this is a person coming in. It can be a very dynamic friendship or relationship if you choose to let it in. What I do have is I see a lot of communication between you and this person. And then I also feel like, you once again guarding your heart, closing yourself off and not really allowing yourself to be vulnerable. The spiritual advice that I'm getting for you with these clarification cards is that you want to look at somebody's behavior time and time and time and time again. And I feel like, you judge people based on consistency. And yet this person has been nothing but consistent. And so there's no need to put your guard up, okay? Explore that interaction and explore the relationship and see where it goes. I feel like many of you are at a point where you do want to challenge yourself. You do want to see your capabilities and your limits. And so you want to be able to manage all the responsibilities on your plate. But at the same time, it's sort of like, I feel like you're more than capable of doing it, but why do it the hard way when there are better ways to do it, when there are people that are willing to help, when you can easily delegate responsibilities, right? The next card that I have here is the Eight of Wands, and this deals heavily with travel, swift communication. And what I feel though is for some of you, if you have lent money out to another person, I feel like there's going to be a lot of communication back and forth regarding payment plans, regarding payments in general. I see some type of communication here regarding financial arrangements. I also feel as well new projects, what's coming in, who's qualified to do these projects, who's qualified to handle these projects, as well as I see some people submitting portfolios in order to land a project, in order to land a gig, in order to land a job. And I feel like there will be a lot of, I see people reviewing your portfolios, and they could potentially invite you to come back in for like an interview, or to chit chat with you and see where you're at, to see if you're still looking for work, to see if you're still able to handle certain projects. For some of you, this is outside of the company, where you're sending out your resumes or sending out your portfolios, and you're giving them pictures of some of the projects you worked on in the past. For others, this is internal within the company or the organization where you work, where there are new projects and the higher ups are trying to decide who's best suitable for these projects. So I see landing a lot of projects. I see as well choosing a team. Some of you are choosing a team. This can be a sporting event. This can also be, you know, working on that project with another person or with a team, and you're going to be able to get like first dibs as to who gets to be on your team. So I see big breakthroughs coming in. I see some of you as well possibly traveling for work, planning some type of itinerary, or having somebody prepare the itinerary for you, the accommodations, booking flights, booking hotels, booking accommodations for you. So that is being talked about heavily for this week. The last card that I have here is the Four of Swords. This is rest and recuperation. I feel like some of you are coming out of a slumber, coming out of a state where things have been a little bit stagnant and you're not really sure, you know, how things are going to turn out. And I feel like this is a week where there are a lot of clarity, a lot of information coming through, and also a lot of decisions. And so what happens as a result of it is that your financial picture is going to be a lot clearer. You're going to know exactly like where things are headed for you financially. And I feel for many of you, if you have been looking for work, if you have been looking for projects, it's going to be coming in for you. We have here the Ace of Pentacles. This is always good news. It is showing up in the reverse position, so they need additional information in order for them to make up their mind. They need something from your end. You have to submit something from your end, is what I'm seeing. And I also feel like it's a period where you are kind of thinking, do I have enough time? Do I have enough, do I have too much responsibilities on my plate already to tackle new projects, to take on new jobs? And you're also thinking as well, last week I feel was pretty stable. The work itself has proven to be pretty consistent, but I feel some of you are thinking as well about leaving your current job and pursuing other things. But last week was so stable that it kind of made you, you know, second guess yourself, like, maybe it's not that bad. But I feel like the energy for this week is all about getting the ball rolling. It's all about revisiting those ideas in the previous weeks where you feel like, I'm not entirely happy here. I'm not exactly, you know, inspired and thrilled with the work environment. So those are areas that I feel will be coming through for a re-examination for this week. Okay.